Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in to the Urban Music Collaboration Artist Edition. We're going to be talking to a musician, singer, songwriter, performer, and we're going to have a great time. This show is going to be dedicated to highlighting local, artists and musicians who do their thing and to try to get them to the next level and just let the world know more about them. So here today we have Kyran McShaw. And just Kieran, give a little intro about what you do and anything you want to start off with.
What's going on? My name is Kyran McShaw. I am a music. I call myself a musician, but I mostly sing. That's what I get paid to do, I guess. Between that, I'm a host. I have a talk show going on, and just a regular modern day Renaissance man, and all my other / endeavors that I choose to devote time to here and there.
Cool, cool. So, first question, real quick, is when did you start singing? I mean, when did this all start for you?
For me, it started at a very early age. I can count on one hand age. I was going to say probably about. I did my first solo, I'd say, at the age of 4, 5-ish, somewhere around there. Obviously, it started out in church.
Okay.
Between that and then the school assembly, I guess we had. But yeah.
Cool, cool. And in regards to anything else you might do, now you say you're a musician as well, but you pretty much get paid to sing. So, what other instruments or what instrument do you play?
I tinker around with the keyboard
Okay.
and drums. I'm knowledgeable and I guess skilled enough in the drums to be able to carry a beat at least. And also know a few chords on a ukulele. So I guess you could say, yeah, those 3 instruments outside of voices. And then, the ukulele.
Never would have thought. Learn something new.
Yeah, right. Believe that. Little ukulele.
Cool. So tell us a little bit about an experience that helped you and inspire you to, take it to the next level in regards to your singing, your performing, things like that.
Obviously just, I guess my whole life, but I guess what really started me down the seriousness of music was, I've always loved music, and even growing up, our family would sing a lot, do a lot of church functions and stuff. Our family had a singing group, and been in chorus since like 8th grade, all the way through, honestly, all the way through college.
Okay.
But I guess the turning point of everything was prior to coming out of high school. My original goal was to go to school for engineering, and by way of the military,
Okay.
I was on my way to the Marines. But because I have a birth defect in a heart murmur, my ASVAB, well, I passed the ASVAB with flying colors. My physical would not allow me to be a Marine, in which I was in the process of going through the physical and, basically right before boot camp, which I had my boot camp date.
Mhm.
Probably about a few weeks before I was supposed to leave. I ended up finding out that I had to kind of go through a few extra steps to try and pass physical or get it approved or waived for physical. And needless to say, that whole process didn't lead to me becoming a Marine or beginning that process. Somewhere in there, God saw fit for me to do something else. So I kind of took that as a sign like, hey, okay, I've been doing music all this time. Might as well continue on doing music. So,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
hurriedly applied to North Carolina Central around February or March of the year I graduated, and got accepted within about a month or so. And the rest is my path to becoming a musician, or, taking music seriously for that matter.
Cool, cool. Sounds like you had one direction that you were trying to go, but life kind of put you in another direction. So, hey, here you are.
Yeah.
You've been doing good at it. So, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well, thank you, man. Yeah, life has a way of putting you where you need to be. Sometimes even if you do go off track, it's gonna veer you back in one way or another from one
Sure indeed.
circumstance to another.
Now, from a singing and performing career, who are some of the people who has been a great influence on you that you don't try to be like, but they influence you to do what you do?
I guess a lot of people have influence because I consider myself a student in the game at this point.
Mhm.
People always ask me, they often ask me, oh, hey, who's your favorite artist or what's your favorite song? And it's not a cop out to answering that question, but I can never give them just one answer. So
Right.
generally, I stop answering at this point. I don't say I stop answering, but I pretty much respond with, hey, I don't have a favorite. I can give you some influences. So this is kind of the same thing. Day one, I would say, has been like gospel has been like my foundation, and starting with gospel, can't say it without saying Timothy Wright, because that was pretty much like the first exposure to like professional gospel on the stage, the grand stage, and everything. So from there, I just kind of my love for music kind of grew and blossomed. And the reason I say him is because my parents used to sing with him when we did live in New York, and so they had us at rehearsals all the time and taking tours with him, just different stuff like that. So I really got to see the behind the scenes at an early age. You got to see, what it took to be at that level, and just be able to get a free front row seat to. Of course, we were kids running around here and there, but I would always find that sometime during this rehearsal to post up and actually soak in and absorb what was being given and the mastery of it from either himself, the Reverend Timothy Wright, or his members of his choir, or his musicians in general. Not to mention just, when we are going out to different, or when the choir, I say we, like I was in the choir, but when they were going out to these different engagements or whatnot, we would often get a chance to go along if it was local, and just being able to see the other musicians and choirs from, the people they want to program with. So like your John P. Keys and your Hezekiah Walkers and, your James Clevelands and your Clark sisters, like we actually got a chance to see them. And this is before I even knew who I was around.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is just us and these other people on the engagement, but they are masters at their skill. Oh, yeah. And obviously I'm just hearing music and not really paying attention to how skilled they are. It's just, it sounds good. It feels good. And then growing up being like, oh shoot, like I was actually in a room with these people. So starting there, and then just kind of throughout my, I guess, musical journey, I've had and been blessed enough to be around a lot of great musicians. Adrian Crutchfield, back at home, got a gentleman named Detroit Yancey family. It's just like a lot. I've been blessed enough to be around a lot of musicians, artists, and some of them are probably names that you wouldn't know unless you were in that area. But seeing who I've seen compared to even say them who may have a lesser name, they're right up there with them as far as the musicianship, professionalism. So I have to include them in just influences in my journey and stuff. And obviously major names as well, just because I'm a student of the game. And I listen to everything. So even cross genres, I just consider them all inspirations and kind of keeps me going to where I'm going.
Cool. Well, what's crazy is that I'm from New York as well. I know you know that part. And born and raised Church of God in Christ. And Timothy Wright was a staple. Staple in the church. I mean,
the Godfather.
He's done McDonald's Gospel Fest plenty of times. And a church that I was in hosted it, year after year until a certain point.
Oh, nice.
And I've been around Timothy Wright plenty of times as a young kid. And we may have crossed paths potentially just
Very
knowing that
possible.
now about you.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
very
crazy that
possible.
from New York down south, we connected
Right.
somehow.
Hundreds of
Yeah,
miles away.
for real.
Yeah, that's
Now,
what I
what?
love about music, man. It has a way
Yeah,
of
I mean,
bringing,
and the crazy
some
thing is
people that
that
who would go ahead.
the crazy thing is no matter what, it's always something that you are attracted to. It's not like something
Oh
that you
yeah.
choose; you're attracted to it automatically,
hmm It's a universal language.
big time. And let's see, what's my next question? What I got here? Okay, so now you kind of answered this already, but after you've gotten into the music kind of full time and full fledged, was there a time that you wanted to go in a different direction professionally after a certain point?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'd say go in a different direction well, yeah, I guess if it still boils down in a different direction. The reason why I'm bouncing back and forth in my head about it is just because like I've always wanted music to be a part of what I'm doing, um, whether that be in conjunction with something else that I'm doing or uh, apart, but I'm still doing music and I'm doing something else. And part of that ended up
Mhm.
being like, say, when I first moved to Charlotte. So moving to Charlotte, I had kind of graduated from school and obviously just trying to lock into um, young adulthood, so to speak, and pay bills basically. Um, I decided to do, the whole 9 to 5 thing. And doing that, obviously I found that I couldn't find happiness in that. And I was barely doing anything musical. So
Mm.
um, I was still kind of living as if I was an undergrad, just the partying and all of that stuff, just kind of blowing money, wasting money instead of focusing. So I was like, okay, let me try and do a change of scenery and, go full fledged on the music down in Charlotte. So at that time, yeah, coming down to Charlotte, it's like, okay, boom, let me find the hot spots here. But the hot spots, obviously, at the time of me coming, wasn't paying the bills. So I ended up buckling down and getting another 9 to 5, which, of course, I got complacent at that time. So that's just one example of me going in another direction, but also in conjunction of trying to find, um, my space in the music niche here in Charlotte, the music culture here in Charlotte. But I also understand, okay, that's going to take some time before I'm able to pay my bills and
Yeah.
do what I need to do on that end. So bills still got to get paid. So yeah, I guess that direction, or that's an example of me going in that direction. Another example, I guess, would be once I did finally realize, okay, you've been on this hamster wheel too long. Let go ahead and pursue your other passion. And that I realized, hey, I can continue to do music and do it at a high level,
Mhm.
but also um, find other stuff. Well, not find, but pursue other ideas that I had, and one of those being a host, and
Mhm.
actually now doing the talk show and everything. So um, just just trying to I guess use myself or present myself in its fullest potential, and not get complacent with just what I'm doing.
Cool, cool. Makes sense. I mean, because you sometimes artists know that it doesn't pay the bills unless you already made it big, which it usually takes some
Right.
time to get there. So
hmm
when you starting off, you starting to build your foundation, get your feet, get some
Yeah.
connections, get some shows or recording deals,
Right.
whatever it is you're looking to do. That's gonna take a minute. So
Yeah.
have
It takes some time.
have fun. Definitely,
Now, for
definitely.
some, they strike gold right away, just
Yeah.
because of the talent. But um, my path has been kind of an unconventional path, and even then, just my mentality is over the time of me, even from me coming down and up until now, just like my mind state has kind of changed. Different things I value a little more or a little less than I did, say, back when I was 24, 25, moving down.
Mhm.
Um, I value that. I value other things. And then of course life circumstances also kind of changes your path and your trajectory. Not to say that you at the end of the day won't get to your ultimate goal, but understanding that, it may not be in the time that you may have originally set aside, or just understanding that, your goals may change, based off of what you've experienced in your route to get to that goal. You may not have that same passion for certain things that you have, and it's okay, because at the end of the day, it's your life. So
That's true.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're going to take a quick pause. We're going to play a video, kind of highlights some of what you do, and then we'll be right back. So stay tuned.
Let's play we walk with kisses tonight. Let's lay back while we watch the stars. Let's dance until that's gone. Wake up, you text and think about me. Hey, never better. You feel the wind inside me. I never loved nobody like you love me. Hey ladies, and that's why.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Thanks for staying tuned and checking us out. So we're on the second half of our conversation with Kyran McShaw, singer extraordinaire, performer extraordinaire, performed on hundreds and probably thousands of stages over the course of his career. Parties, events, clubs, shows, whatever you name it, he's probably done it. And hosting at this point as well, his own show. And we're going to get right back into the questions. So, Kyran, overall, what do you think, or what would you say, what drives you to do what you do, all of what you do?
Having something to do. No, just
stay busy.
Yeah, partly staying busy to sum it up, but really just I guess one of my main things is just doing what I love. I'm at the point in life where a lot of times if I feel like if I'm devoting time to it, it should be something that I either want to do out of the kindness of my heart, whether that be something for someone else, or whether that be something that I just want to do to make me money. You know what I mean? Because that, again, not to keep harping on the bills having to be paid, but at the end of the day, that's really what it is. And just being able to find that happy medium and being able to do what I want to do, and be able to find a way to do what I want to do and make me money. And then just having the freedom time. I have a daughter. I love spending time with her. So being available to be able to do the things for her that she needs done as well, whether it be just from normal parenting or extracurricular, whatever the case may be. So that's kind of my motivation and how I move and what I'm moving for that matter. A lot of times, a lot of times I try not to move unless it's something that's going to be not always beneficial. Well, I say beneficial, but
Mhm.
not always monetarily beneficial or advantageously beneficial, but just beneficial. It could be something that feels good to the soul, or beneficial for somebody else
Right.
that I am partners with, or friendship with, or in some degree of a relationship with, or whatever the case may be. You know,
Cool. Makes sense. I mean, family is always important. Bills got to get
no, yeah,
paid. So, hey,
yeah,
if you can do all of that for both, why not?
right. And then at the end of the day, just doing what I love,
That's true.
being able to say I do what I love for a living.
That's a beautiful thing. Well, I'll say a majority of people may not be able to say that. They're not
Right.
doing what they love to make a living. They're doing what they need to do to make a living.
Hmm.
And that right there is a big stress pit for a lot of people. So,
Oh yeah.
myself included to a certain degree. So,
Oh yeah.
it's crazy.
And I mean, I've been there for sure. Like it's a conundrum. And even sometimes doing what you love can be
Mhm.
to a degree stressful, or it can weigh on you. But at the same time, uh, that difference in between just being like,
Mhm.
man, F this, and going
Mhm.
on and either quitting or whatever, is just like you actually get to do what you love. So figure it out, enjoy it, because like you said, it's a lot of people that can't, or that don't, that are feeling like living vicariously through me sometimes, and I do feel that responsibility as well, but I enjoy it, you know. Um, people, and that's the support that I
Mhm.
get from people like that, They're like, nah, oh yeah, man, you got to do this, like, for real, do this for us.
What's crazy is that some people, like you said, live vicariously through you. You bring that sense of bringing them out of their issues or their day-to-day stress for 20,
Hmm.
30 minutes or an hour or two. And
Hmm.
that gives them the feet to go further. Some
No
people
doubt.
cannot be happy for nothing. They don't
Right.
smile. They don't exert any kind of happiness. They don't try to make other people happy. They just go through their day, head down, going to work.
No.
But if you bring some joy into that room,
Right.
that can give somebody else some kind of joy, and that joy
Yeah.
itself can carry them through the day.
And that's the
So,
cheat code. Honestly, I be feeling like I got the cheat code, and I thank God for giving me, I guess, the gift and just the want to continue to pursue music. But
mhm,
um, music is like when I say it's the universal language, it's a
mhm,
universal language because it touches everybody. Music touches.
right.
I don't think I've ever met a person that didn't like music, and I mean, it may not be a certain genre of music that they may
Right.
not like, but there's always and everything's music, so there's always a melody that someone
Hmm.
can relate to that. So whether it's, even if it's the nostalgia of the beeping of a device in the hospital when you were born,
Hmm.
or something like that, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Just that tone. It's always something, and that's considered music, and it's always something that people can relate to, any and every walk of life. And I'm just happy to be in a space to where, like you said, I can go in and be able to move someone, um, and change someone's life, even only for a split second, with
Yeah.
just the matter of a song or a note.
Yeah. I saw a video speaking about music, how it kind of speaks to the body. You hear it,
Oh
you
yeah,
kind of gravitate towards it, and the harmonics. It's like in our DNA. So a certain note,
frequency.
certain combination, it makes people feel a certain way. So everyone's gonna love some type of music, like you were saying. So it's crazy.
It's all frequency.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just basically, you hear, and that's just going scientifically down the rabbit hole. There's certain hertz
Hmm.
that the body responds to, just because the majority of our body is liquid. You know what
Right.
I mean? So um, there are different molecules that are within the liquid that um, react and respond to these frequencies that are in the air, and that are being passed around even through cell phones. That's why they have
Hmm.
certain warnings on cell phones and
Oh yeah.
electronic devices that to use in a certain manner, just because the frequency that is being emitted from these devices sometimes can be harmful. just like other frequencies that you may hear in sound or from the radio or whatever the case may be, are frequencies that are moving throughout our body. And typically that's why you have what they call it herd. I don't want to say herd immunity, but there is basically something dealing with the herd frequency. I don't know if that's a real word or whatever. But
well, I know what you mean.
yes, that's why so many people can feel a certain way about a certain thing, is because it's doing the same thing in your body as it is in mine. A lot of times when you hit a certain frequency,
molecules are always moving, sound frequencies are always moving, and when you get them in sync, you feel it. You don't know why, you just feel it.
Yeah. But that's down the whole another rabbit hole. But it's bigger than that. It's the cheat code. Like really, it is a cheat code, and a lot of us don't realize it. I mean, and maybe it's not for everybody to realize, because maybe that's just not your area of interest. But it's very deep. Like even down to in church, why you think sometimes you feel a certain way when the pastor says a certain word, and even just the word alone is frequency. So and then you add in musical chords, certain musical chords that correlate to that word and enhances it. And next thing you know, your whole church is up in a praise or worship or whatever the case may be. But
that's right.
A lot of times it's not only just the word that is coming out, but also that frequency coming from, say, the chords that a musician is playing, or an organist or a guitarist, whatever. So
and there's certain soloists from a church perspective that when they sing a certain song, not just a choir, but the soloists are singing, they belt out a certain note, it sometimes gives me chills, and I'm like, ooh, that's what I'm talking about. That's a singer right there.
That anointing, that oil.
Yes,
that's what they be calling that oil.
Yes. And it's common enough where people say that singer is a good soloist or a good singer in general, not because everyone can't hold a note. I mean,
no. Here's my thing. I say everybody can hold the note. It's just who's willing to listen to that note.
Oh,
unless you're mute, you can hold the note. Now, who wants to listen to it? Now, is it a good quality note, or is it a note that's exactly.
Yeah, good quality note. I like that.
Yeah, so don't sell yourself short. You can hold the note.
Oh, okay. I'll put that in my pocket. So, was there any kind of project that you was going to be a part of or have been a part of that you were nervous about, that you was like, wait a minute, can I do this? Or did I do my best? Did I do my best in this case?
Actually, well, this is, I guess it's kind of a project. I did a few years back, I was brought to an opportunity to do an opera, to sing in a chorale in an opera. And initially I was nervous, one, because it had been years since I even sang anything operatic, dating back to my school days. And by this point, we were talking like 15, close to 20 years out of school. And also, just trying to blow the dust off of my training, meaning, sight reading and everything like that. Like I hadn't done sight reading in so long. It's almost like, it's not like riding a bike, in my opinion. Like if you don't use it enough, eventually you know what's going on, but you're not as fluent or as fast as you were. So that part had me nervous in whether or not I'd be able to carry out what was needed of me. And it wasn't like a big role or anything. I had a solo within the choral pieces and stuff. But it was challenging initially. But nonetheless, after a while, I began to lock in and things started coming back to me. And it ended up being a pretty good opera with the CPCC called Dare the Moon. It was a reenactment with the music and the arts department. Cool. Well, the dance department, that is. Sorry.
And what is it that got you through that project? Was it just kind of getting more used to it, or you just thought of something? or?
Well, just honing in and just practicing, honestly, as they call shedding. Actually, I took some extra time. I locked in with the conductor, and had a few private sessions to kind of try and get me brought up to speed and run through it a few times with him and just kind of get his interpretation, since he was a conductor, get his interpretation of it and how he preferred that I actually delivered it. So having that one-on-one time from the person that was actually going to be not only conducting the whole orchestra and, working in partnership with the dance department, but also just getting his insight on how he specifically wanted it interpreted by myself during it, and how he was teaching it to everyone else that was part of it, and their parts and what he was expecting from not just myself individually, but my section as a whole and the chorus as a whole. So just being able to lock in with and get that extra time to kind of get me up to speed, and blow the dust off of my sight reading skills. So we actually had the scores up there, and we, singing and reading the scores as we're going through everything.
So from a singing perspective, do you find it harder vocally to sing opera or a certain genre? That's like a slight challenge depending upon how often you do it, or it's just like they all have their own same challenges, just about how often you do it, you can kind of overcome it quicker.
Well, honestly, I think it's both, because there are certain genres that you can sing that may seem like a breeze, and then there are certain songs within that genre that's like, whoa. They all present their various challenges, whether that be the trill in an opera or choral piece, or whether there's trying to have the right twang, because I like to try and carry out the essence of the song in which it was written. I'll eventually make it a Kyran song as I'm performing it once I've learned it, but I want to learn the nuances, the little things about this song that makes this song that song. So when I say I'm a student of the game, like those are things that I look for when I'm performing different cover songs. I'd say, what is it about this song that's making it this popular song?
Right.
What is it that makes it an appealing song? And then just try and embody that before I even think about making it Kyran, sound like Kyran, so to speak. You know what I mean? So I would say both. The song itself. Sometimes it's the range of the song. That's probably my most challenging. When that range get there, I'm like, okay, man, I can't. I know you want to hear the song. We're gonna bring it down. You ain't gonna get it from me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be down here.
Yeah, exactly. So, and just knowing also something that a lot of people may not think about is knowing when it is okay to do that and keep the essence of the song, and knowing when just leave it alone, because it's you changing it too much. It's going to make it a whole different song, and it's not going to do what it's supposed to do for those that are listening.
Then I can receive it as well.
Right.
Cool. Totally makes sense. I mean, 'cause I know musicians from a keyboard standpoint, piano players standpoint, they want to play it in the original key usually. But some people say, well, if we play another key, we could do this and we can make it sound like that. Like, they may not be ready for that. This is, not like a hang out and just do what you want to do. This is more so they pay to see or want to see the original version as much as possible. So,
yeah. Now, in the defense of that, because like I said, it's certain songs that you can pull it off with. It's certain songs that it's like, nah, I guess I'm an advocate for at least attempting to try it in another key if for some reason it's harder to do it in the original key, which a lot of times you should see coming from a singer, I would say. That should honestly be the only reason why one would decide to change the key of a song. Not to say that's the only reason, but
Right.
me being biased as a singer, that's the only. Outside of that, it's like, okay, you got an instrument, maybe like a horn or something. It might
Mm-hmm.
not have, like, if I'm a baritone saxophone player, and there's a song that has a lot of that was made in a soprano, made for a soprano saxophone, and transposing that makes sense. So I guess it's the same thing as a singer, just different instruments have different ranges, and
Right.
but if you're talking about changing it just because you don't know how to play in this key as a keyboard player, I'm not knocking you, because if you can make the song sound like what it sounds by transposing, hitting the transpose button on the keyboard, go for it. But I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice by not learning all your keys as a musician or anything like that can't play, and that pretty much is played by just your fingers.
Yeah, I've heard some stories, boy. Some musicians, some MDs like played in the original key. Use that transpose button. You're out of here, buddy.
Yeah,
but
a lot of musicians don't like the transpose button, and they kind of frown upon someone that uses a transpose button. I'm not one to frown upon anyone like that. It just lets me know what your skill set is, and then that, to me, lets me know, okay, what can we do that's within your skill set? That's kind of how I would look at it. Like, I'm not going to frown upon you, because if you can get the job done by hitting the transpose button, I know that every time before I call a certain song, I need to maybe kill a little time so that you can get your transpose button to get to that key and make it sound glorious, or whatever you need to do to make it. Now, if you're unable to play in another key and you're unskilled, or you're not skilled at being able to play the song in general, then we've got to start looking at personnel. You know what I mean? But
every musician, every singer, every creator of some sort, they're at a certain stage in their profession.
Yeah.
So some are here, some are there, some are there, some are over here. So just knowing what you can get from them, which is good to know. But if you try to throw something at them that you haven't tried, like, okay, sorry about that, buddy.
And that's really why you want to be able to know your personnel in doing that. For me as a singer, or just any musician that's playing with other musicians, just being aware of your personnel skill set so that you know what you can and cannot do. There's been plenty of times, like, I kind of hang my hat on being multi-genre and just knowledgeable of a lot of songs. I feel like that allows you to allows me to be able to, work in any room, and it keeps me versatile. It keeps me just another skill to try and conquer. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And when it comes to performing and everything, so and doing
one thing about songs, lyrics.
Oh yeah, all right, that too. Yeah, lyrics, all of the above, man. It's it's just something that kind of keeps me sharp, or tries to keep me sharp, and keeps me going. I can't remember why I brought that up, to be honest with you. But
it's all good. So what's next for you that the people can look out for? I mean, this is a time to kind of plug anything you got going on, how they can find you, how they can find your material and things that you've done. What's out there for you?
Well, you can find me on my social media, Facebook. You can search my artist page at Kyran, Kyran. You can search Instagram, KTSAE19. As far as what's next for me, I'm typically posting that on there. I am currently working on starting another band through an entertainment company. I am currently in and have a full slate for the party band I'm with, Infinite Soul. You can search us at infinitesoul.com and find out where we'll be next. We do a lot of private events, but we do some public events. So hopefully people can catch some of our public stuff. Of course, Kyran and Friends. My next local and recent gig, which is Kyran and Friends is myself and my personal band. We'll have on the 13th of February, we'll be at Hickory Tavern. I have my unit there. We'll be singing about two hours of music that evening, starting at 9 o'clock. The following day at Event Masters, I will be doing a hosting gig for the Love event that will be performed live band V Keys. I don't know if you guys ever heard of V Keys, but he will be on that event as the guest artist. Outside of that, man, I'm just going to keep on putting my head down and moving forward with different events. Obviously, once a month we have Say talk show about everything that we're doing. That's also taking place at Event Masters. The next date should be sometime rather around the end of February. I'm in the process of confirming the date now. Outside of that, if you ever want to know what I got going on, do feel free to tap into my social media pages. I'm always posting what I got going on and how you can find me. Come enjoy the presence of Kyran.
Cool. Now, for those up and coming singers, musicians, creators, entertainers of sorts, what kind of encouraging words might you have for them? Because of course, there's always going to be some struggles, and they're going to have doubts. But what could you say to encourage them to do what they love to do?
Well, at the end of the day, stay encouraged, man. That I know it sounds cliche, and it's answering the question with the question basically, but yeah, it's just staying encouraged. Just keep your eyes on the prize. If it's your passion, if it's what you want to do, then go for it. The only person that can stop you from achieving your goals at the end of the day is yourself. Mm-hmm. There are going to be obstacles. There's always obstacles, and that's just life. But as soon as the obstacle comes, you got to figure out a way to get around that obstacle and stay steadfast, keep moving forward, and just kind of tackling what it is that you are setting out to do. And the universe responds to energy. So if you're putting that energy towards what it is, what your passion is, and you're doing it the right way, then it'll reward you. Your universe always rewards you, and it may not always seem like it is. But as long as you are continuing to make progress on what it is, even a small accept and count these small victories, right. And don't be afraid of taking losses and failures as well, because that's pretty much what it is. Like to achieve your dream, you are pursuing something that no one else has because it's your dream. So you have to treat it that way. You have to go after it in the form of, okay, no one else has this, but the world needs to see this. And if you keep that in mind and just set you out a plan to achieve it and attain it, then it shall be done.
I like it. Someone said once, I'm not sure where I heard this from, but turn your losses into lessons, because you're going to have losses no matter what. But just learn from it and move on towards your goal. So made sense. And that applies to everything, not just, singers, musicians, creators, and performers and such. It's life, yeah. So, Kyran, I really appreciate you joining us here today. Look forward to all the great things you got going on and upcoming. Definitely for those who are watching this, tap into what he's doing and also keep connected with us. So until next time, stay tuned, stay blessed.
Let's play we walk with kisses tonight. Let's stay back.